Some of the instructional practices that secondary teachers engage in that are not particularly effective in are round-robin reading, where they're trying to create that atmosphere of read-alouds, but in fact it's just a disguised form of round-robin as the students move around the room reading each passage aloud. Another practice we see quite often is to read the text at home. Read the text at home and come in tomorrow ready to talk about it. Instead of allowing students in time to read the text, talk about it as they're reading, perhaps chunking the text so that students can read a short piece and then ask each other questions. Well, what did you think this meant? Well, this because students need time to think about text as they're reading, not just when they're through reading. Another piece that I find troubling is that teachers rely solely on the textbook as a means of providing students with information, instead of allowing students the opportunity to explore the web, articles in magazines and newspapers, taking them to the library to research different topics using picture books. Instead, teachers are relying solely on the textbooks to guide their instruction, to guide their pacing, and not really helping students learn how to delve into a topic and providing opportunities for them to become engaged in that learning. Another practice I find troubling is the use of 200, 100-word multiple-choice questions for testing, instead of engaging students along the way as they learn and helping them maybe write about text, talk about text, as a means of learning, and instead of just doing that huge test at the end where it's really more of a trivial pursuit kind of thing they do at the end of a unit instead of really learning what kids understand and can develop. Lecture. Secondary teachers are very knowledgeable about their content area, but I think sometimes we struggle with the idea of how students learn, and students don't learn very well sitting in straight, rigid classrooms and just receiving lecture. A silent classroom isn't necessarily a learning classroom. In fact, oftentimes a silent classroom is evidence that there's very little learning going on. So the quiet classroom is another strategy that is often valued by secondary teachers but may not be the best evidence that real learning is taking place.